I think the ability to listen first and foremost, understand the problem, a strong communicator. So for me, listening and talking, communication, that's the key skill. The ability to translate often technical problems, complex thought processes, regulatory requirements into plain English, which means you have to understand it yourself to be able to translate to the board or executive council of a university in terms that they can understand in relation to the business, I think is key. And the third thing is not afraid to speak out. Comment, stand your ground, make a point, but also don't be too autocratic in that. Be open to challenge, and then help everybody on their journey to understand cyber and information security. In my mind, they're both linked together. I think we need to drop the word cyber, if I'm honest. I'd like in the future to find out that having been a CISO and a CIRO and multiple other O title jobs, we don't need them. It becomes an integral part of just leadership, and everybody can have that conversation. I think we've created the mystique around cyber, so I think to be a leader, you need to understand it from a risk to your business, and it's as simple as that. Gain as much experience as you can within multiple businesses and disciplines. Don't, unless you find one particular niche you love and are passionate about, broaden your horizons, live it, learn it, and then allow that to shape your career path. I think you need, as a leader, you need to be aware of developments in technology, developments in legislation and regulatory environment, developments in your own business sphere. So different businesses face different challenges. If you're manufacturing, the big challenge at the moment is industrial control systems. So being aware of how that fits. But really, I think, as a business leader in the cyber world, it is to be curious, to ask questions. And I said yesterday in a panel session, there are no stupid questions in cybersecurity. Just ask, challenge, and continuously learn. I'm never too old to learn. I think it is incredibly important. One, because this is unique in the conference environment. There is nothing like this anywhere I've been. Quite often, my role and my position is a lonely one, to sit down with my peers, colleagues, and other people not necessarily directly related to cybersecurity, and be able to have an open, honest conversation. It's rejuvenating, it's enlightening, and really, sometimes I get fed up with talking about cybersecurity because people don't listen to me. I think it's always been time. I just think the focus is now more on cyber. Once upon a time, incidents were never spoken about. I think the first one that springs to people's mind is TalkTalk, and from there, it has woken up society and the business world and the global community. So now it is important that people are seen to be leaders, innovators, much the same thing in my mind. And we need to drive that awareness out into the big wide world. That's a very open question because I believe all of them should invest in it. I've worked in quite a lot of different sectors, public, private, regulatory, charities, academia. And I think there is a requirement for everybody to have knowledge and learning in this area. I think it should be part of every degree and learning course. It shouldn't just be in computer science, it shouldn't just be in cybersecurity. Every course, whether it's financial, right across the piece, should have an element of cyber information security woven into it without being blatant and in their face. I think it's important because if you set a course and a training, you're developing a standard, you're bringing people up to a common level, and I think it's important as UK PLC is going to go forward. We need to lead by example and have those leaders in those spaces, and then we can stand proud and loud and say, you know, we are doing this. This is the way to go, people. And I think that's what it's all about. I think we're all aware of who and what the NCSC are, and to get that certification, I wouldn't say it's the rubber stamp of approval, but it means the course is validated. It actually is benchmarked. It is worth having. It's very much the same as the CyRO course I did with Templar Execs. Same reason to do it. It's that endorsement, and it just means that it meets a certain standard. And you know, backed by Lancaster as well as the NCSC, what more could you want? Speaking as an engineer, my safe ground is technical. So I think it's important that we have this Cybersecurity MBA to help people like myself relate that to a business purpose, but it also helps people coming from the business to understand there is an element of technology involved in this, but it really comes down to people. You know, people, technology, and culture really are the three things, but it brings us all together. We talk the same language instead of me sitting at the front of the room going tech, 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 tech. And so it helps us understand the problem and move together and solve the solution.